Check out these references in Dandadandadan Season 2. This video is sponsored by 40 Thieves. Gigi has a Paris Saint-Germain or a PSG football club poster, but who is that player? I don't know, Messi probably. I don't really care, I prefer fictional sports anyways. Momo channels her inner Buster Keaton to escape the Diddy party. Unibrow here wants to be a bootuber, which is just a YouTuber or TikToker. Which reminds me, please subscribe. He also wears Bruce Lee's famous Game of Death yellow fit. The Sichinoko is actually a Mongolian death worm, and since it's so proud of its heritage, it even does Mongolian throat singing. Kito Nagi uses snake style, and her finishing move is called Jennifer Lopez Anaconda, which is a reference to Jennifer Lopez, who starred in Anaconda. But what's not so obvious is that the soundtrack that is played while she's doing it actually sounds like Anaconda from Nicki Minaj. If you look at the credits for the Kito family, you will notice that all of them, with the exception of Mami, uses the kanji Ju in their first names, which means curse, like Juichi, Jumanuel, Juhiko, Jugemu, Judiko, Junko, Jataim, and of course, Jifufu. Are there any other references that I missed? Check out these references in Dandadan. Of course, this whole episode might as well be inspired by Shaolin Soccer, since Gigi's moveset is basically Stephen Chow. But there are other soccer references in this episode as well, such as Momo doing Endo Mamoru's God Hand technique from Inazuma 11 to stop the ball. Okuren and Gigi's final kick is pretty much Captain Tsubasa. Actually, now that I think about it, since Captain Tsubasa came first, maybe it is just Captain Tsubasa, not Shaolin Soccer, but I really like Shaolin Soccer. And I would say that Gigi is pretty much a blue lock character since it's blue and he's locked in. But since there's actually animation, I don't think they're referencing that anime. While there isn't an actual evil eye yokai in real life, since the concept of Jashi is more of a curse, Evil Eye does take inspiration from the Kune Kune legend. The Kune Kune is a slender white monster that likes to wriggle its limbs like an inflatable tube man. However, the Evil Eye's actual appearance might be inspired from the creepy entity from the Aphex Twins' Come to Daddy's music video, and its face is probably Ochanan from the manga Fuan no Tane. Both of those monsters that I mentioned also happen to be associated with wanting to play with children, which is what the Evil Eye wanted before he got cooked. Are there any other references that I missed? Check out these references in Dangdadang. Momo is clearly a fan of Ultraman, and now you can add her doing the Ultra 7 beam pose to your collection. In the English dub, Okuren calls himself a chill guy.
I'm a chill guy usually.
This is a reference to the I'm just a chill guy meme. Do you remember that meme? That was a year ago. You're old now. Okuren pulls a Goku and performs the Ultra Instinct from Dragon Ball Super to dodge Gigi's attack. Okuren defeats Gigi Karate Kid style by doing 5 sets of 20 squats, which is the training routine that the beautiful Seiko Ayase recommended him to do. Basically, Okuren does a squat rush from JoJo. Get it? Squat rush? You don't understand? Okay, no one gets it. But to truly cement the JoJo reference after Okuren wins, he poses like Jotaro and quotes the biggest reasons why you lost. Funny enough, both Jotaro and Okuren are 17. Are there any other references that I missed? Check out these references in Hug the Dawn. Momo saving Okuren from the lava pod is very similar to when Shinji rescues Rei from her entry plug in Neon Genesis Evangelion. Taro channels his inner horse girl and runs through the remix of William Tell's Overture. Seiko Ayase's pupil Manjiro pulls off a Daisetsuzan drop. Daisetsuzan is a national park in Hokkaido, which also has volcanic mountains. Seiko Ayase descending down on top of Taro, who's flying like Ultraman, as she aura farms for about 1 minute and 30 seconds, posing like a superhero who always comes late to save the day. She even has Chiquitita sing a theme song for her, which I think it's supposed to be a variation of the Kamen Rider theme, but maybe next time we should give the kid a backing track to make it more hyped. Naki Kito, the head of the creepy Kito family, once again uses Jennifer Lopez Anaconda style. But did you know that J-Lo used to date P. Diddy? This is referenced in the anime as the males in the Kito family act like wani, or alligators. You know, creepy men that lie in wait at an onsen for women to show up, just like P. Diddy. Well, I guess he got away with it, so I can't really make that joke anymore. Just like how the Kito family got away with not dying even after being eaten by a giant Mongolian death worm. Are there any other references that I missed? Check out these references in Ranmadan. Now that the evil eye is inside Gigi, he can now switch between himself and the evil eye based on the temperature of foreign water. So when he touches cold water, he becomes evil eye, and with hot water, he becomes Gigi. Yup, it's literally just Ranma 1/2. Gigi also sings Jaja Uma ni Sasanaide, the original opening from Ranma 1/2. The gang eats some hot pot after the arc, and it gets a little too real. Seiko considers getting a Hayashi to help with Gigi's exorcism. Hayashis are performers that provide the music for various Japanese stage plays. No, they aren't usually aliens that want to take your banana. Aira uses SKK Gold Experience toner for her beautiful face. The name Gold Experience is the same name as Jojo Giovanna's stand from JoJo Part 5. Meanwhile, in the English dub, Gigi says that he wants to play Smash Bros, which is just Smash Bros. Okurin and Momo perform an action called hand-holding, which is something humans do to show affection to each other. And it's quite a pure and wholesome and not alluding. What the hell, Momo? What the heck is this? Jesus! This is what they call hand wrestling. Or a hand. Are there any other references that I missed? Momo, you know I can't show this on TikTok. Check out these references in Dun Dun Dun! To help with Gigi's exorcism, my former wife Seiko Ayase needed a Hayashi to provide a backing track. Good thing a hair metal band called Hayashi showed up, which is quite the tribute to the Japanese rock band X Japan, the pioneers of the Visual Kei style. When Hayashi begins to power up their amps, it's pretty much a reference to the opening of Back to the Future, when Marty McFly would turn every knob to max volume to blow out Doc's giant amplifier. Of course, the song Hunting Soul that Hayashi performs is pretty much a tribute to X Japan's song Kurenai, but they don't just phone it in, they got some serious talent to perform it. First, the song was written, composed, and arranged by Seiji Nagai. The vocals were done by Kisho Taniyama, you know, Fred Jones from the anime Scooby-Doo. Char-G is on drums and Wakizaimon is on bass, and the guitarist is none other than Marty Friedman from Megadeth. And what's even cooler is that in the English dub, they got Mark Hudson from Dragon Force to sing the song. Aira goes through her morning routine where she applies a gold experience to her face. This is not a reference, but more of a reminder that you should take a shower. Maybe then you'll be as beautiful as Aira. Are there any other references that I missed? Seriously, Mark Hudson from Dragon Force? That's so freaking cool, man. Check out these references in Nad. Momo's got a new job at a maid cafe, which are cosplay restaurants where cute girls are dressed as French maids. And they serve you and call you master. And the best part is, you don't have to tip them. They'll fulfill your every desires. Like making a Kikoho reference from Dragon Ball Z. Maid cafes may be willing to employ smelly gyarus, but they are still a classy establishment. Which is why they serve the finest coffees, using specialty grade beans from 40 Thieves. Just like how Momo got a real job, I got a sponsorship. If you grind your own coffee and you're sick of using boring stale beans to brew your coffee, check out 40 Thieves who roast every bag fresh to order. They have all kinds of roasts with all kinds of flavors. They're also a huge fan of Dandadan, and so together we created a new flavor for a limited time called the Momoka. Get it? It's a reference to Momo when she became a maid, but it's not actually her, it's a skeleton. Just like how the anime references other intellectual properties without any fear of lawsuits, except for that one time, the Momoka is a dark cocoa with a creamy finish and a smooth body that will energize you so that you can continue to find your man's balls. Use code SATSUMI at checkout to get 5% off the entire order at 40thievescoffee.com, and you will finally be able to taste Momo's beans. Okuren and Momo are both reading Asate no Jo, which is a parody of the manga Ashita no Jo, or Tomorrow's Jo. In this case, Asate no Jo means the day after tomorrow's Jo. Momo and Okuren get bold and hold each other's hands without consent. Unfortunately, Evil Eye decides he hates vanilla and puts Okuren in a position where he can only watch as Evil Eye chokes Momo's first. This is a reference to NTR, a popular genre for some reason. Luckily, Momo doesn't swallow hot water. Aira flies like an airplane, like Mayano Top Gun from Uma Musume. You know the game that's ruining my life because I can't get mommy. Please breathe with my horse. Aira does another JoJo reference when she steps on Turbo Granny yelling Ora Ora, where some people will wish that was them. Real classical musicians are being featured. Luckily, they've been dead for over 100 years, so we don't have to worry about copyright infringement. Are there any other references that I missed? Check out these references in Dun 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 Dun! In order to avoid another copyright infringement case, today's Monster of the Week features classical composers that have been dead for over 100 years. Thank you, public domain. We have Ludwig van Beethoven, who got his hearing back, Johann Sebastian Bach, the GOAT, Antonin Dvorak, Franz Schubert, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, who still has a poop fetish, and Leonard Bernstein. Wait, he died in the 90s. Are they allowed to use him? Oh, good. Thank you, Aira. Of course, they use music notes as a projectile attack and spam it like it's a bullet hell game. The music note that paralyzed Okuren is called a rest. Get it? In addition to fighting classical composers, they were also fighting some titans singing Beethoven's Symphony No. 9. This whole fight might as well be an homage to Attack on Titan. Aira especially uses her hair like 3DM gear and moves like an Ackerman. Now that the training arc is over, Okuren and Turbo Granny are Gainax posing and they got aura. Are there any other references that I missed? Check out these references in Dun Dun Dun. Okurin and Evil Eye have destroyed the house again, so now the Ayase family are homeless. But don't worry, ladies. Mantis knows a guy from Sweden. This is Ludris, who is built like Steve from Minecraft. Not only does he have his blocky body and his color scheme, he also has nanoskin blocks that can create anything. Ludris also can only say one word, and that's which is how Timmy from South Park speaks. Timmy! I don't know if that's supposed to be a reference, or a coincidence, or maybe we're implying that Ludris is also handicapped. Evil Eye once again channels his inner Shaolin Soccer, and they do the same gag from that movie. Just like the previous teachers from Season 1, we get a new teacher dressed like the Monster Attack Team, or Matt, from Ultraman. This strange, well-adjusted, and cultured gentleman sings Chargakuru. Or Here Comes Char, from Gundam. And you know we're dealing with a legit Gundam otaku if he's singing that. Are there any other references that I missed? Check out these references in Danda. This young man, unlike other men, have a fine taste in the mecha genre. Once again, he sings Here Comes Char from Gundam to hype himself up. He has a picture of a classic RX-78-2 Gundam in his locker. He also wears a backpack that resembles the jet thrusters from an RX-178 Gundam Mark II. His shoes are even color-coded like an RX-78. The moon alarm clock shot in the beginning resembles the first frame of the original 1979 Mobile Suit Gundam's opening, and he even does a jet stream attack from the legendary Black Tri-Stars. Unfortunately, you can't do that attack alone. And of course, Dandai is Bandai! He is also reading a Tsukoshi Fushigi magazine, which is a reference to SFF magazine, popular sci-fi magazine from Japan. They also feature some glasses worn by younger Tokoru from Yu Yu Hakusho. Momo, as she tries to grab Okurin's ball, says, which in English it is localized to "Gotta catch 'em all," which is a reference to Pokemon's famous English slogan. They don't actually say that in the English dub though, otherwise they'll get sued. Otaku over here says Boulacha! Which sounds like a crude pun on the word bra in English, but it's also a Shin-chan reference. Are there any other references that I missed? Check out these references in Dun 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 Dun. We're fighting a kaiju, baby, and although it looks like Godzilla, due to the fact that we already killed a Godzilla reference, it's not. But still, you should run because it's actually a combination of two powerful kaijus from Ultraman, Gamora and Red King. It even has Gamora's Ultra Oscillation Wave Attack. The Minecraft house turning into a giant mecha using a transformation sequence might as well be an homage to all kinds of shows that feature a mecha assembly scene, like Super Sentai and Voltron. The Dandadan song that plays over it is a legally distinct parody of the Monster Attack Team theme from Ultraman. The Great Quinta Bodhisattva Zeta version mech is filled with references from Gundam. We have a V-fin on its head, fin funnels from new Gundams, a spiked shoulder from an MS-06 Zaku 2, and then randomly it has arms from Giant Robo, the day the Earth stood still. Finally, our king has a name, Quinta Sakata, who shares the same last name as Gintoki Sakata from Gintama. Get it? That explains all the Gintama foreshadowing. Aren't you glad you didn't have this name spoiled? Quinta is voiced by Daichi Fujiwara, who in the past was typecasted to be an otaku in minor roles. Now he gets his ultimate role as the otaku, so please take care of him. Are there any other references that I missed? By the way, I'll be in Japan next week, so I probably won't do episode 12. So hopefully there are no more references. God damn it.
100円ください。